3:30 on the East Coast here, and we're getting things started with our technical team. Per the usual, we've broken everything and turned it off and restarted everything all at the same time. So hopefully you can see and hear us out there where we ask and answer anything. We ask you to ask us anything that we can answer. So we're looking forward to getting a conversation with you about cracking the code to cash flow, what we call the save and spend system. We got the 3-cup set up here on the table, and I got Jesse Durham back in studio this week on a Thursday. Jesse, welcome.
Hey, everybody.
And we are going to be led in convo today by Jesse because he's brought us a little bit of a leisure study. I think this is like show and tell. I'm not sure if we're going to learn anything, but he is going to make you wish it was still the summertime. It was before Labor Day. The kids are still at home, and we're packing our bags for a road trip, an all-inclusive, a vacation, a staycation. Maybe you guys like those? Are you a vacation guy or a staycation guy? Variety.
We like a variety of things, for sure.
Okay, so here's my question. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know out there if you can hear and see me. This is a great question to answer to start things off. If you can hear and see us on our Zoom out there, welcome. If you can hear and see us on YouTube, welcome. If we're simulcasting, I'm not sure if we are. Maybe we can be told, or I can hear. Are we simulcasting on Facebook? YouTube. Okay, let me know if you can hear and see us out there. Put in the chat, what type of traveler are you? Here are my 2 options. Yes, on Zoom, Sharon says. What's up, Sharon? Let's go. Are you more of a, what is it called? Are you more of like help me think of the word.
You say something about staycation there for a minute.
Like, well, are you more of when I travel, I prefer to go see the sights as opposed to beach the sights and put my feet up. I'm going to a busy city so I can go be a tourist. Or are you more of a person who is got an umbrella drink by the pool? Those are 2 different types of vacations.
Those are 2 different types. We've done both, I would say. Our typical vacation is if we are driving to where we're going to take our time, and it might be multiple days before we get to our actual destination where maybe we're going to spend a week or get on a cruise for 7 days or whatever it happens to be. But we will stop and visit the places of a city or a state, spend the night somewhere. And it might be camping, and it might be at a hotel, whichever. But then the next day we drive some more. Then we'll go do some more activities, go see some other sites.
I'm not ready for you guys. I mean, you guys have a young family, little kids.
Yes.
I have young family, little kids. I don't think I'm ready for taking our kids yet on a camping style adventure.
Will you ever be?
That remains to be seen because I'm not sure it's a vacation is the problem for me. What do you guys think out there? What do you think? Linus, let us know. What type of vacations are we taking? Are we going to a destination in a metropolis, megapolis, or are you going to KOA? And that's a vacation.
No, I've never been to a KOA.
I have, and I regret it because I got in that hot tub and came out with the rash. Yeah.
We're not talking about that.
Right. Oh, what's up, YouTube out there? Monique, what's the MPI stuff I keep hearing? What's the difference? Happy to answer that to start things off before we get into Jesse's staycation, vacation, family vacation, and stuff like that. We'll get into that in just 1 second. But we are here to be asked and answer anything you want to talk about when it comes to your private banking system. The infinite banking concept is what we teach. So MPI, raise your hand out there. Let us know if you've heard of this. The maximum, what's it called? Maximum premium indexing. What does it stand for again?
Sounds right.
I think is right. And we're going to answer that for, I believe, Monique out there on YouTube. If you're following us on YouTube, welcome. If you're not subscribed, it is The Banking Bros. I believe that's how you actually get to our Cash Compound channel. We changed it at one point, but it is the Cash Compound at large. But The Banking Bros is how you'll find us out there. Okay? Ooh, I'm letting lots of people in every few seconds. Okay, let me explain it like this, ladies and gentlemen. The infinite banking concept must use, because I use the actual formal term, it must use whole life insurance. It must use whole life insurance. Now, we're going to prefer to use that from a mutual company that pays dividends. Sometimes you can't get to that, and it doesn't mean that if you have a whole life insurance policy that's not from a mutual company or that doesn't pay dividends, it doesn't mean you can't use it for infinite banking.
For sure.
I know that that's going to throw a few of you off. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and welcome everybody. Love to hear you out there. Know you're out there, but we muted a few folks. Okay, so anybody on TikTok? I'm sorry. Anybody on Zoom? Have you guys heard of MPI? MPI? No. Okay, good, because it'll mess you up. All right, here we go. All right, Monique, if you're out there, here's what's going on. The MPI, our friends and family out there who think MPI is the way and are using MPI, number one, are they talking about banking? Jesse, are they talking about banking? The utilization of Cup 2 in this visual example, are they talking about that at all?
No, that's not how it's promoted to folks.
It's not promoted that way. Okay, what are they talking about? What's the big theme that they are promoting there or talking about?
Retirement.
Retirement. Okay, Monique, did you hear that? Okay. Monique says, I like both. Oh, Monique, you talking about your vacations? Okay, very good. So tell me, Monique, while we're answering your question, you keep answering my question. I'm answering your question at MPI. You tell me, are you rather going to New York City or are you going to the Outer Banks? I don't know. I don't even know beaches. You're going to the North Shore in Hawaii. I went there earlier this year. Where are you going? Yes, she says. Okay, here we go. She says yes.
That's a good answer.
In the bottom corner.
That's a good answer.
Okay, so here we go.
New York pizza.
Chicago deep dish. Chicago deep dish. Okay, here we go. MPI is not utilizing whole life insurance policies at all. They're going to utilize indexed universal life policies. Those are different. As you can imagine, they're called something different because they are something different. Mm-hmm. Okay, number one. And if you utilize indexed universal life, you've got to understand that the automatic guaranteed growth, aka crediting, you might want to call it, that goes into a whole life policy's premium dollars, compounds them and gives them a bigger pool of money that we bought and we can use. Index universal life does not automatically do that. What the insurance company does is basically they take the amount of money they give guaranteed that will continue to compound to the whole life people, and they go buy something with it. Jesse, remind us, what do they buy?
What do they buy?
Yeah, what does the insurance company buy? Ooh, maybe I caught you.
What is the insurance company, what do they do with the capital as far as like the mortgages?
Index universal life. They give us a guaranteed growth right here in whole life, but they take that money that they would have given to whole life people and they go buy something with it.
They go into the market.
They go to the market and they buy call options. Monique, you with me? Outer Banks, she says, they go buy call options, 1-year call options. And those call options expire after a year and they either went up or they went down. You guys with me? If they go up, you have the ability to earn. If they go down, you don't lose because of that bet, but you don't get anything. Also, the insurance company has the ability to decide in what range you would participate.
Mm-hmm. Caps.
And they change it. They can change it every year. You cannot do anything about that. The options that they buy, call and put options, it cost money. The money the whole life people automatically get. So here's the thing. If you'd like to utilize whole life insurance for banking, you're always going to have more money to spend, guaranteed, and you'll have it to use in Cup 2. Indexed universal life, you have no idea if you're going to have it. You can't control it. You can't change it. And it can be manipulated by two outside factors outside of you. No control. The market and the insurance company. You can't do anything about it. Also, the cost to keep your policy rises every year, and whole life is level. Mm-hmm. So if you were thinking about using it at what time, how do they promote MPI to be used? When are you going to use it, Jesse?
And that retirement age.
Retirement. Aren't you going to be older at retirement?
Yes.
Isn't annual renewable term insurance going to be more expensive at retirement?
Yep. So
well, then
come from here.
It's going to have to either come from your pocket, and you're going to have to pay if you live too long, or it's going to have to come out of here if you don't actually pay more money into premium. If it ever expires and goes out, the whole thing is gone. Good luck. You thought you were going to use it in retirement, but that's when it gets the most expensive and trickiest to use. You've had lots of time to have those variables kick in and mess your policy up. Mm-hmm. Now, MPI is not just what I explained. What I just explained is IULs, which are used for MPI, and MPI is now taking these dollars, borrowing against them, relocking them in. You hear them say that a lot. Buying more policies. You've got to qualify for more policies later on. Your health has got to still be good. There are so many variables in there, and lightning is going to have to strike you 3 times for that to work. How about that, Monique? I'm happy with my whole life, she says. Got sidetracked with the type. Yep. So much. Hey, hopefully that was helpful for you. Thank you for the question. It is going to ask me anything. We love it. And I'm squinting because it's hard for me to see what you wrote out there. But to our friends on Facebook watching live, thank you for the contributions. Okay. Jesse, if you can, make sure you monitor and let people in. If you can let people in. Welcome, everybody out there on Zoom and elsewhere. Can you let us know out there? Thanks, guys. Super happy I found this first. Yeah, well, that's the thing. When MPI came through, I had to do my homework on it. I hope you don't think that I'm bashing them. I'll bash them if I meet them in person. However, our friends over at MPI, they are selling you on the idea of investments with a product that is not guaranteed to grow. You have to pay attention to that. And I had to read the book. I went on TikTok. I watched them go live. The MPI people go live. There's about 3 or 4 of them who are killing it in terms of marketing. I watch them. We follow them because I had to figure out what they were saying. So don't think I'm coming from a place of hate, and don't think I'm coming from a place of ignorance. Okay? But if you plan to use policy money throughout your whole life for banking, that is not what they're promoting. They're talking about retirement, and you've got to have lightning strike you a couple of times for that process to work. And at the time you realize it may not have worked out nearly as well as you wanted it to, you're old. Good luck. Because it's for retirement. So at that point, you can't go back and get back the years it didn't work. The market goes down 2, 3, 4 years out of each 10-year decade segment, which it does. You better hope it doesn't do that every decade, but it always does. All right. Good luck to you. Hopefully that was helpful for you, ladies and gentlemen. We want to introduce Jesse here to remind you that 8.5 years ago, Jesse Durham here from the Durham Talents Channel, one of our coaches, he started doing the actual infinite banking concept. And with that, he's been able to finance many, many things in his life. He's got a beautiful family here, 3 kids and a wife, and he's going to share with us how you too can live a life of leisure and luxury, just like the Durham clan, because you have utilized your policy for opportunities to go vacate. Who wants to vacate? I know we just passed up Labor Day, but we need to go buy some whites and some linens for next season. Or maybe you're a winter traveler. I don't know. So, Jesse, I'm going to turn things over to you. And we're still monitoring any questions, thoughts, and ideas that you have. But we want to help you guys crack the code to cash flow. We're showing you the save and spend system. Save your money. Spend the insurance companies on vacation. Jesse, my man.
Fantastic. Well, we're one of those families. We've actually got a vacation planned for this fall ourselves that we just made a policy loan for recently. Let me get to this question. Let's see. Victor's got something for us. What options do I have with whole life with my parents who are 55 and my in-laws who are 65? I just learned the concept a week ago. Finished reading BYOB yesterday.
Nice.
Fantastic. Great.
Someone who's
Setting
serious.
up my policy within the next month, but wonder about my older folks.
Yeah, love it. Thank you, Victor.
Awesome. Great question. So congratulations on getting in the book. Congratulations on starting your process. That's always the place to start, is with yourself for sure. You're leading by example. You're figuring this out from a personal experience. So I know that I've had that same realization, and obviously plenty of folks that we talk to do, that they start looking down in generations and up in generations. You start thinking about the bigger picture in life, right? So we expanded our system as well to where we have policies on my wife, our children, and so on. So having policies on the 55, 65-year-olds, like the age, I mean, banking is banking, so that doesn't really come into the conversation very much. Could you own policies on them? Possibly. Could they just be exposed to this concept? You share what you're doing, get them on the phone with us to have questions answered, and they just own policies on themselves. And maybe that they're interested at that point, and that would be very common, to they'll skip a generation. They'll go by you. You're already getting a policy on yourself. Maybe they'd like to start policies on the grandchildren. I mean, they're just all different kinds of connections that could be made to expand your system.
So we want to remind you, get on a one-on-one free consultation call. If you don't already have a coach, Jesse will be your coach, and we'll put his link in the Zoom chat shortly. I think Will, our producer, will probably get it in the YouTube chat as well. Let me answer that question a little bit differently. One of the things I like about this AMA is not the contradictory nature of the question answering. It's the fact that we can answer these things an infinite number of ways.
Yes.
So
let me the benefit of both.
Yes. So I'll answer it completely different, but all in line and in stride with what he said. The older you are, the less likely we might start a policy on you, whatever your age might be, because your health starts to change and your age is a factor in your mortality. So if you are thinking you're too old, that may be true in terms of getting a policy started on your old and tired body. Could be. Doesn't change banking at all. That's what he was saying. But if you're not of age, or you're within age range, or you are uninsurable for other reasons like health, then we just need to have that conversation with you so we can help get you started. Okay? So we're going to help everybody no matter what age they are. There are people who are within our community who are in their 80s and did not start policies until that time, but they didn't start it on themselves. They started it on the younger generation. They still own and control. Their money is still growing and flowing, but maybe it wasn't their body. So hopefully you understood what we're saying there. The options are infinite. And if you're not the body, that doesn't mean you're out of the game. It just means we're looking for somebody else within your insurable interest circle. Okay?
Yep. And that's why that one-on-one consultation is so important, so we can have a better idea of the totality of your circumstances and what you aspire to do. So lots of options.
Yeah, indeed. YouTube has a question. Jesse, we're never going to get to your family vacation.
That's okay.
All right.
Okay.
Can you read that? I'm turning 40 within the year.
Let's see. Didn't think that at all.
The going
Good.
crazy. Ask questions and learn
Thanks
how
for
to
the
be
explanation.
I'm just reading the last. It's Better Investment Academy. I just read the handle. That's our man Robert, Coach Robert Lee. Some of you might be actually being coached by Robert. If you know that name, Robert Lee, and you feel like you have questions for him for a one-on-one, that's him. You can follow his YouTube channel as well. So he's out there watching today. Cool. All right.
Love it.
All right.
Keep them coming. By all means, as we continue the discussion, keep them coming.
All right, we want to make sure we can see the chat from this view. Will the chat pop up on your
I can
screen?
get it up.
Just making sure. And then I think we're ready to talk about your family vacay. Now, Victor, do we answer your question? Everybody feeling good out there?
Feel free to give us that feedback, Victor.
Yeah.
Thumbs up. Good man. Driving safe. Love it.
Yes, sir.
So,
Okay.
So we did. All right. So we did just book a trip for November with a policy loan. But let me go back to the beginning with everybody, okay? And I don't know if I'm going to be touch screening or space barring. So let's see what we've got here. So this is one of our family vacations.
Did I?
Oh, we're not even.
Is this not the right place?
I'm on slide 73 or something.
Oh,
Just
okay.
scrolled
Let me
way
hold
down.
on.
It's all good.
Let me. Let's. Our second screen. Let's get the screen option back up there, if we can, Will, so I can.
So we
scroll back.
What I would say is when we heard about this idea of the save and spend system, right? We were already taking vacations. We'd been intentional about travel, my wife and I, and then as our family grew, it was in the same year, I guess, that our second son was born. Of course, we're making next year's plans for vacations, and we were able to start using this policy from then on, and it just really changed things about what that looked like for us, because this concept, of course, teaches us not just how to be able to take vacations, but how to be able to go on a vacation and get the money back. I mean, you're privately financing things that otherwise, well, let me just show you some things here. Otherwise, that we're either financing with a bank, it's just being run up on a card, or you set aside money throughout the year and then you spend it all to be able to go in and enjoy a good time.
Oh, yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's always those two factors, right? It's the time and money. The only thing that stops us from going on more vacations or longer vacations is time and money. And when we started learning about this growing compounding pool of capital, well, that does a lot for the money side of the equation to be able to enjoy these types of vacations. And that's what folks are traditionally doing, right? Is they're either going to the bank for the vacations that they want to take, and we all experience cash flows however we do. And what is the first thing that we do with that money? Everybody, without even thinking, because it's conventionally what we're told to do, we direct deposit that into the bank. The bank enjoys all the benefits and the profits from us making those deposits there right from the get-go.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
I know you're
I'm
navigating.
Sure, yeah, I'm not sure everybody was seeing that. The last 2 minutes there. All right, can you guys on Zoom now see it? I'm not sure if you were seeing it.
Yeah, by all means, I'm seeing the Zoom link. If you want to give any feedback or questions, either one there. I'm seeing that chat.
Cool. All right, continue. Thank you.
Will I be able to use a space bar, I guess, then? Sorry, guys. I'm figuring out the tech side of things.
Hold on. We're using multiple screens out here. We want you to see it. And
so much tech.
I am trying to, boom. Now you can.
Beautiful. So we're making these deposits, right? And Will, if we could make any adjustment on the size of that screen for those that are able to follow along visually, you're the wizard there. But let's say it's the vacation that we're wanting to do, and hopefully y'all have gathered by seeing anything from us online that you could use this product and this process for anything that you're doing. Today we just happen to be talking about vacations. But when you want to do it traditionally speaking, of course, you've got to consider, well, what are those deposits doing, number one? And then when you do want to get access to the money, what does that look like from there on out? So you're paying interest, which is a big factor in this whole concept, to be able to go on this vacation. So that's the one traditional, conventional way of taking a vacation, right? Is you either swipe it on a card and you pay, 28% interest or who knows what to be able to take that vacation. Or the other way is to be able to set aside cash money for next year's vacation, right? And then you lose the interest that you otherwise could have earned, of course.
You need to hit this.
You tell me what to do.
Hit this, not the space bar.
Yes, sir.
All right, try that.
Let's give it a go. So here's what that scenario looks like. We still make our deposits at the bank, and they are making bank all the while. They're a business, and they're a very profitable business. And there are lots of variables to consider about what happens when you put our money there. But the year goes by, or it's time for a vacation. What do? We take that money, we take the vacation, and then that means that we had a good time, sure. We didn't pay interest to the bank by swiping it on a card, but it does mean that we start right back where we started from, which is at zero.
Right.
And that's not a very fun prospect.
But that's, in a lot of cases, what Nelson Nash might call the arrival syndrome. That's the best I can do. See, I was doing that same situation when I was paying off debt, Dave Ramsey style. Mm-hmm. I wasn't paying interest to other people. I got out of debt. I didn't have credit cards. There were no interest payments, but I went back to zero.
Right.
I didn't know there was any better that I could do. I just went back to zero every time, right? I'd work hard, stack up my money, and then once I spent it, it was gone. But there was another way.
Right. So those were the two scenarios. So here, for our brand new folks, here's the big question then is what if you could go on vacations like you want to do anyway, but year after year, your starting point got higher and better and more efficient if you weren't starting back at zero. And that's what this provides us, a little frowny face right there. So with infinite banking, it looks like this. What we say is that this asset, this ideal financial vehicle, this privatized banking system, this save and spend system allows you to be able to put your capital, put your money into this policy that you privately own. And there are more than a dozen reasons on why I believe that it's the ideal financial asset. And then, like you normally would, you still access the capital, you take your vacation or whatever it happens to be that you're doing today. We're talking about vacations. And then you're the one that's in control of this whole process, and you can put that money that you otherwise would have paid in interest if you were using debt, or that you otherwise could have earned if you were paying cash like Jay do,
right.
using the Dave Ramsey way of things. You get that back in your own financial system. So you're not starting back at zero every time. And again, there's a big discussion on this, but let me give you a visual for everybody that can see this. We took vacations as a family, okay? But in our first 5 years of starting this process. This is a snapshot of some of the things that happened for us. Life happened, right? But along this way, we had a family vacation, of course, in 2017. We had an anniversary trip. My wife and I celebrating our anniversary.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Love
Thank
it.
you. Be 16 years this year.
Mm-hmm.
We had another family vacation. So time was going on and things were happening, but we want to take vacations. We wanted to keep going places. But now we were doing it this way where, yes, we could go to the Silver Lake in Michigan. Amazing experience. A lot of fun.
Oh, is this where they have those sand dunes?
Amazing.
I've heard
you
of
would
this
think
place.
you were in Egypt.
Right.
It
sand
is
dunes.
ridiculous.
Y'all been up there? Somebody let me know. I just learned this was a real place.
It's a real. So we had a rented F-150. I don't have any video of this. I should, or I do. It's long. It was amazing. Full coverage on the F-150 rental,
Okay.
right?
Sure.
That way you could
not just liability.
you could play and have fun.
That's a whole different type of conversation about insurance. I can't help you with that type.
right. But we had an amazing time. But what I'm saying is we took vacations like we normally would, but that means come anniversary trip time, we were not starting back at zero because the money that we normally would have put towards that vacation had already been building, compounding, growing in our policy. So year after year, we just got more and more efficient in something as normal and all-American as taking vacations.
Okay, so now I'm seeing this one up here. I want to jump in to see if we have any questions, if you guys understand.
And I'm looking at the chat.
We've stacked the racks of money. We've borrowed against it for Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to Philadelphia. I need a vote out there. Who's going to the sand dunes of Cairo, Michigan? Or are you going to Virginia for the lovers out there? I have opinions about where other people take vacations because I'm not going to all the places you guys are going to. So I just wanted to throw that in. All right, here goes little Philadelphia.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
that was one of the stops along the way.
Okay.
Okay. So we did the Philadelphia thing, but then we got on a 7-day cruise
Nice.
to New England and Eastern Canada. So we're eating the lobster, okay, and we're the filet mignon and
Okay.
all these
I see you
things.
did eat it because you look thinner in this picture than
Be
you are
quiet.
right now. Maybe it's just the beard. I don't
I'm
know.
literally more of a man now than I was then. I'm on a different program now.
Okay, got you. All right, so we
Virginia,
got
we're getting
Virginia and
votes for
Florida, but
Virginia and
no,
Florida.
but out here, Monique is saying Michigan. So Monique is on YouTube saying Michigan. All right, cruises or destinations, right? Cruises aren't really about the destination. They're about the ride.
But aren't they though? Because you can fit 3 different destinations and one.
It's not a destination. It's the tourist trap at the port. That's what I'm saying. So do you like, I'm not saying I don't like cruises. I
Right.
do.
Right.
I'm just saying it's not about the destination. Y'all know I like destinations. Okay. So let me know. Keep going, Jesse.
It's all good. So we did a mix. So yeah, we did. We spent time in Philadelphia. Then we got on the cruise. It was Eastern Canada, New England, Boston, Massachusetts, Portland, Maine, of course. And then we spent some time in D.C. on our way back. So we did this driving to go out of New York, but that meant that we got to stop at a lot of cool and amazing and fun educational places.
Love it.
Along the way.
Okay. Looks like the kids are all about the educate. You know they hate educational places until they're grown.
They have a good time.
Do
Our
they?
kids still talk about our vacations.
But not the education
even-
part of it. I'm just saying, I got opinions about vacations. Hold on. Monique says, don't get that infinite belly. All right. Don't
Oh,
get
my
that.
goodness.
My man right here. Monique, appreciate you. Somebody's got to check him before he wrecks him. Okay. Got it.
You need a steak. So I mean, I'd love to see your vacation pictures as much as you would to see mine. And you know, we took some amazing trips in 2018, 2019, so on and so forth. The point here is that
Hold on. Where are you? I got to know.
Oh, you got to know. So we stopped at the USS Alabama in Alabama on our way down to New Orleans. We spent
Okay.
a few days down in New Orleans. The food, the music, the café au lait, all these things, the beignets.
Yes.
Okay.
All from policy loans.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that's the permeating paradigm here is that instead of swiping a card or instead of just saving up money and blowing it one time and it's gone, it's evaporated, is we were building our money the whole time and we were using our money the whole time and we were recycling it the whole time.
It's wild.
It's a
Love
different
it.
it's a different way of doing that same normal thing. So this is still New Orleans, okay? We did the whole alligators, the bands, amazing. We stopped in Dolphin Island, Alabama on the way back. Saw some dolphins. Pretty cool. 2019.
Hold on. Where are we going? 2019. Where were those 3 places?
This is a cavern in Virginia.
Okay.
I can tell you. They could tell you, which is pretty cool. There's just a couple of seconds of the music right there. And
Love it.
this is Lake Champlain in Vermont. So we went to the Ben and Jerry's factory. We went to the Build Your Own Bear factory. We went to this cruise on Lake Champlain with the dinner and the meal and the music and everything.
Dinosaur Land. Where's that?
That was on the way back. I can't remember where that one was. Virginia also.
I've
maybe
not
on
been
our
to
way
anywhere in the slideshow yet. It seems. I mean, I've been to some of the large cities, obviously the states, but Dinosaur Land, Lake Champlain. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
We've seen a good many of the states. This is let's see, that's the Natural Bridge, also in Virginia. There's more than one of those in the U.S.
Yeah,
more than one of those. We've been to more than one of them. But here's what I'm saying is, like, yes, that's vacations. You've been on vacations. You know what vacations is like. The difference on the money side of things is that we were the ones in control. We were the ones experiencing growth and compounding. We were the ones that were experiencing guaranteeing access to that growing pool of money. And yes, if you could do that with vacations, you could do that with cars, you could do that with your business endeavors, you could do that with whatever it is that you're doing in life. You could also be the banker in what it is that you're doing in life.
So we've taken a lot of vacations out there, and I know that a lot of people out there have bought their timeshares or swiped their credit card a lot. That's not really my game, because prior to understanding this concept 8 years ago, starting policies, taking a loan this summer to go to Great Wolf Lodge. Mm-hmm. That was a great place. We're going back. We went to the North Carolina, the Charlotte one. Let me know in the chat if you've been there, been to any of them. The former Wisconsin Dells that turned themselves into Great Wolf Lodges. But my question is have you guys overspent and swiped on your vacations? Have you financed vacations with other people's money, a.k.a. credit cards, rather than your own? I'd love to know what point of view that you have around utilizing policy loans for vacations. Have you used policy loans for vacations? Do you have policies you're already planning for a big trip for? I'd love to know that. And I'm going to throw right now into the Zoom chat Jesse's calendar link. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't had a cash consultation with Jesse, I'm going to throw his link down in the chat right now. You can get on his calendar. These are free consultations to walk and talk through how in the world you can get in the game. Borrow against your own ever-increasing system for your family's next big trip.
Hold on, I'm not sure if I'm ready for, who was it called me Infinite Billy? Who was it?
That's true. That's true. No, that was Monique out there on YouTube. So you better be careful. Monique, you're going to have to call me. Jesse don't want to talk to you.
Speak nice to me.
Okay. All right. So there's Jesse's link on YouTube and in our Zoom chat. Let me know, do you guys already have policies? Let's take 5 again, and let's just answer some of your thoughts and questions.
Absolutely.
Have you gone on vacation and overswiped? Where are you going next? Have you thought about utilizing your policy for that trip? And or do you have a policy yet? You're trying to figure out how you can benefit from this, whether or not you're going to use some sort of IUL out there. Are you going to understand infinite banking to be able to utilize cash value right away? Or were you playing a different game in your mind? Did you know what we were talking about? Would love to know. All right. Linus says he's used a credit card to fund a vacation for the cash back and then paid it off with his policy. Is that what you're saying, Linus? Love to see that. So he's
double
dipped, right? Obviously, he's trying to be responsible. He's got credit cards, but he can immediately go for points, miles, gifts, and then borrow from his policy within a week or so. Boom, he's got that money covered, paid off, got the points, and had all the pleasure.
Playing the game, controlling the banking function.
Very good. All right. Anybody out there? Now, Monique says, I'm sorry, you're amazing. So I guess I just lost my call.
It was fun banter.
All right. I just lost the call. I thought I was going to have a new friend, but oh, well, you can talk to.
Too skinny.
You can look. My vacation was a holistic retreat, so we didn't eat nothing. No. Okay. How many of you have you gone those types? How many of you gone on the couples yoga holistic vacation or something? That's true, but you don't, obviously.
That's right.
Okay.
Got those gains.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, any other questions, thoughts we can answer? If not, we'll go back to Jesse helping us understand the next phase of these experiences utilizing policies.
And she said both of y'all. Appreciate that. That's fantastic. Right. So obviously this is the infinite banking concept. You can apply it. And if you did go back to the timeline with me, you'd see that we did use it for lots of other things throughout even our first 5 years. And we've been going on 9 years now in this journey of financing business equipment, paying off debt. We had about $50,000 worth of debt when I first read the book, Becoming Your Own Banker, and first saw my presentation. We paid that off, and we share that with everybody. We did lots of things back along the way, and you know what you have going on. And here I'm actually at the end of this section right here, but I would encourage you, of course, to, if you have not yet, have that first consultation call so that you could share where you're at, what your goals are, what your dreams are. I mean, vacation is something very easy to talk about, and that's why, I love sharing pictures of my kids and those types of things as well. But again, just the idea that you could go on vacation and get the money back, and that when you're ready next year for the next vacation or however often you're traveling, that there could be more money available, guaranteed.
You're going to need it. These vacations are getting wild.
Right. And
we're
getting more kids.
And we're getting more kids.
More time.
Right. We want to go on longer trips. We're going to bigger, better destinations out there, right? So let us know. Do you already have policies out there? Monique, are you already strapping, as we might say? Do you already have an infinite banking system? Let us know out here on our... I'm starting to recognize some of these names. Maureen is with us. But Svetlana, Sharon... Victor, do you already have a policy or 2 or 3? Give me a thumbs up if you do. You don't yet. Okay.
He's driving safe. Keep going.
All right. Yeah, be safe out there. But I saw that nod. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so let me remind you guys of some of the fundamentals and the basic. Okay, Monique has one. Love it. Linus has got at least one. Now, Linus is part of our team. He's on the inside team here. Our buddies over at the Money Multiplier do our paperwork and our handling to get you guys in process. So when you're ready for that, let me remind you, if the 3-cup setup is something you can visually see, if it's not, be safe. But our 3-cup setup is the way to explain the save and spend system in 2 minutes. The easiest way to understand what happens when we give an insurance company money. Mm-hmm. When we're doing it for the purpose of infinite banking, there's a certain style product we want from them. Jesse, break it down real quick on what is the product, and I'll talk about the process and the cups.
Whole life insurance from a mutual company that pays dividends. So whole life insurance, something that is a financial asset that you can own for your whole life with a mutual company, because that makes us part owner of that company, which means we get to enjoy that third option of dividends.
Love it. So, Svetlana, 3 policies. Love to see it.
Fantastic.
Okay, I'm if I hadn't mentioned, I think I may have, I'm in underwriting right now for the 9th family policy. Mm-hmm. Right now. My wife is getting a 2nd policy. We're getting another one on her, and she's only had one. What was I doing? What was I thinking?
Same thing that I have been for a while. I guess time for us.
Yeah, it's time. I was like, what am I doing? I'm not paying attention out here. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to Cup 1 on this great product, the ideal asset that Jesse talked about. Cup 1, the red one, is premium. We give the insurance company money. Yes, you've been doing that. Car insurance, fire insurance, and phone insurance. When you give an insurance company your money, monthly basis, quarterly, annually, whatever, it's called premium. What do we buy, Jesse? What is it? When we give them money, what are we buying?
That guaranteed death benefit.
We're buying a policy, a contract, money. The guaranteed death benefit is what we bought. Okay, everybody understand that? Cup number 3. The blue cup around here is the one that shows off the pool of money on standby for us in the future when we die, not if. Whole life insurance lasts just about how long, Jesse?
Well, your whole life.
Love to see it. So it's not going to expire or go away. It's not meant to lapse. It's meant to be enforced when you die. That's the greatest policy out there, whatever policy that might be, because it's going to pay out at that point. It's guaranteed to. And the insurance company knows that day one. They got to pay that money out to what we say, your friends, family, church, or charities, whoever you want. That's called the beneficiary. Everybody got it? Say, I got it. Victor, say, I got it. All right, Victor got it. Love it. Okay. I'm just messing with Victor. Okay.
No, he's in the game. He's
In the game.
engaged.
All right,
Look
cool.
at him.
All right,
There's
so
a
that's what
grin,
we
too.
bought. So that's cup number 3. Cup 1, premium, our dollars. We give them, and they take care of it. There's guarantees on our dollars. They don't go down. They don't go backward. There's no market risk. The guarantee is that they compound, they get bigger, and they must equal that death benefit. They'll pay it out one day. Now, that's no fun because I'd be dead. I don't need any money when I'm dead. Jesse, why are we here, man? Because we've just talked about a death benefit. We're using life insurance. It's never been fun. How are you going on vacation with this?
The living benefits.
Love to see it. Ladies and gentlemen, cup 2 in the middle. The green one is how much equity we have in the total. That's all it is. Very simple. Cash value is how much of the total you can get to today.
Mm-hmm.
We might call it the net present amount of the future death benefit amount. Making sense? You guys with me out there? Cash value is the ever increasing and growing amount of net benefit that we have. It's how much equity we have so far in the policy that never stops growing and cash flowing. You guys got it? Okay. All right. Monique says she's got one, but is looking for more. Love it. We'll help you get started when you're ready. Because every dollar that you put inside premium is guaranteed to compound and grow as death benefit and cash flow. Death benefit actually rises in the style of policies we're going to build and engineer for this process. It gets bigger. So one day when you die, hopefully it's not today or tomorrow, and when it is, it's likely going to be way more death benefit than you actually needed at the beginning.
Let me run this number by you then real quick because you just made me think about it. So when I was looking at the growth of the death benefit of my policy, which is the first one that we got. So I also started by getting one policy and then added to that. We have 6 now, but that policy started out at a number that the death benefit, even after all these different vacations and things that we had financed, that death benefit's grown about another $100,000 since I had that policy.
That's just like mine. My death benefit is well bigger than I would have started with. I think mine was at about 150,000 larger than what I originally purchased.
So cool, man. So cool.
And I'm not dead yet. Jesse, he looks here. He's not a bot. He's here. So far, so good. And we're utilizing the money, just like Jesse said. Look at all that fun that we're having now, and we're keeping the dollars for a better vacation next round. You know, we're not losing any to interest. We're not losing any to food. Jesse's not losing anything when it comes to food.
Had to circle back to the food.
He's gaining. He's gaining.
I'm just glad to see you had the strength to continue with this podcast, looking as frail as you do.
Oh, goodness. Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm over here all robust.
Robust. Love it. Oh, goodness. Linus, he's coming for us skinny guys, man. Okay, so a couple more things that we'll drop on you, but we're looking for your questions. Anything out there that you'd like to discuss or have answered? We do have multiple policies. We talked about a policy, but Svetlana and other people have talked about multiple. I'm getting a second one on my wife. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, every single dollar that goes in is going to be able to work for our families forever. So many people don't realize, hey, after about 1-2 years, you got to be thinking, in most cases, about new people and policies to cover and to grow in your life. We have. And at the beginning, it was like, if, how, when, why, I hope. And now it's like, no. We get more policies. Mo money, mo policies. Good afternoon to Robin. Robin is a new coach on our team as well. She's going to be helping folks, especially if they're thinking about this in retirement. For those of you who are in a different stage in life, and are actively thinking about retirement. It's not something we threw away earlier when we were talking about the other type of marketing scheme that might work for IULs. But we want to let you know that this is a great retirement tool. Robin's going to have some content and some teaching on that very soon as well. We're looking forward to having her on some Ask Me Anythings. Thank you for being here. I want to remind everybody that we have a private Facebook group now. We'd love to see you inside of. I'll drop that in our chat as well. So if you're on Zoom, you've just gotten that, please join and get in the conversation. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff in there, promoting a lot of ways that we can teach you and help you understand different infinite scenarios to utilize your policy. What if you're into investing right now? What if you are trying to pay off debt? You know, maybe you're not thinking about vacation. Look, I got to take care of some things I messed up at this point. Well, your infinite banking policy is going to be ready for that. So let's get in that community environment on Facebook. It's a free group, and we're doing a lot of trainings, a lot of fun stuff in there. We want you guys to be a part of it, okay? Monique's got a question for you there, Jesse, coming to us from the YouTube channel. Do I pay off my debt first, then get more policies, or vice versa? What are we doing?
Great question.
What are we doing?
Well,
what do you think, Jesse?
If I went back to my timeline slide close to the beginning right there, you'll see that from the beginning, yes, we had about $50,000 in debt total. The student loans, the car, the credit cards, all the things, right? So that is what we started to do, was we got our first policy and began recapturing debt. But we were still living, okay? We did want to pay that off. That was a priority for us, but we're still going to take vacation as well that next year. So we still, in recapturing that interest that otherwise would have been going to those debts, the Wells Fargos and the Capital Ones and the whoever's of the world, that was still getting back in our private banking system also for that vacation next year. So at the end of the day, I don't know what you're going to do. I'd love to have a conversation and speed up your learning curve by those, 9 or so years. But what I would say is the best thing is to be in the position of control where you are deciding, what am I doing with this capital? Am I just going to stay on this course of paying off this debt? Is it time? I've got enough capital build up here. Things are going good with this debt recapture. I am ready to get my second policy. Or is it time for a vacation? And again, at the end of the day, when you're the one that's in the position to be able to decide that, that's just where you want to be. You pick the timing. You pick the priorities. But with this product and with this process that we're teaching you, and the one-on-one conversations, of course, are going to help, you'll know what's right for you to do because you're the one in charge.
Love it. We're just going to help you understand what's true, and when you know the truth, you'll know what to do with that information. Let me answer it in a different way, as we mentioned a little bit before. There are a lot of people who are in debt. Jesse was in debt when he saw this. I didn't happen to be in debt. I had paid mine off the Dave Ramsey way, stacked my racks, went back to zero, and paid off my debt. But there are a lot of people who don't realize how much money they're losing to interest and finance charges because they're in debt. So generally, we might suggest, let's take a look at your debts prior to looking at other things. If you don't mind,
sure.
We're ready for that conversation out of the gate. We'll ask you. It's obviously leading the witness a little bit, a suggestive tactic, but we think that most people really don't understand that utilizing cash value, OPM, the insurance company's money to get out of debt, is a great place to start. Because so many people have consumer debts that they have to pay with their work and sweat of their brow, and the interest is so crazy, it doesn't matter that your 401k made 3, 4, 5% last year. It doesn't matter. You got 20, 25, 35, 40% of your income is going out the window
today
to consumer debts. You can't out-earn that with a fluctuating investment account for your retirement of 8%, 7% with taxes. You're never going to win. Let's look at getting out of your debt.
Yep.
If that's right for you, then we're going to help you start it right away.
Yep. Everybody's an individual in that regard. That's your bottom line there.
It is.
You're
here. The banker. You're the banker.
And in our first 5 years, we had a mix of, we paid things off. We also took at least one vacation every year. That's what we chose to do at least. Yeah. And then we also, in those first 5 years, we had acquired our first 3 policies.
Okay.
But again, that's our individual trajectory and what it looked like. And then you had yours. So
we did. So during our time, we weren't getting out of debt, but I was in a startup phase in business. So I didn't have a lot of extra capital and money. So we really needed to save for emergency funds. Mm-hmm. So we didn't have to get into debt. So that was one of the things that we had to do. At the second time, in the second position, over the course of our first 5 years, it was same really 5 years as Jesse. During that time, we had 2 more children. So they cost money. We needed to save more. We needed a higher amount in emergency fund dollars to be accessible. But now we've cut off that gravy train of new kids. Second is the income has gone up and stabilized to a place where we can afford what we think we need on a month-to-month basis. So we've started to look at investment opportunities with our dollars. Hey, maybe vacation is an investment for you, but for us, that was our journey of becoming our own banker. So you get to decide that stuff. Hopefully that was helpful for you. Any other things that we can help you guys understand?
That was a good question.
That was a great question. It's almost been an hour, so we can go as long as you guys may need here. But we want to tell you about a couple things coming up. Just in case you want to be a part of it, and you can DM us or email us. The email address that you probably used to be a part of our Zoom, everybody, was help@theCashCompound. One of the places that you can go, if you don't know anywhere else, is right back to that email address to get our attention. Jesse's got his link in the chat. He wants to get in a one-on-one conversation with you. One-on-two, bring your spouse, right? Vacations involve the whole family. So get the kids on the call. Jesse will walk and talk you through everything. Tell you about Dino Land, okay? He's going.
It was a big win. It was a big hit for us.
Right. So, hey, he can walk and talk you through that while he helps you with the numbers and getting set up with the right premium for you to get started with your banking systems. But we've got lots of different events we want you to know about. You're going to see most of them on the Facebook group. If you're on Facebook, jump in. Click the group. We'll let you in. We'd love to be in a conversation with you there. And if you go to thebankingbros.com/events, that's where you're going to see me and my brother Jonah where we're speaking next. There's opportunities to see us in person or in virtual environments like this online. Each and every Thursday, 3:30 Eastern, we do the AMAs. Next week, Jesse is going to be soloizing it, I believe. Yeah, just Jesse. I'll be training at an event in Arizona. Come see me. Anybody going to be in Arizona? Anybody already in Arizona? That's where I will be. But we'd love to help you in whatever next step is in your journey. Okay, sound good? All right. Hey, you guys are welcome out there. Appreciate it. Any other thoughts, questions before we close out? Follow us on TikTok. We've got our two handles, the Cash Compound and the Banking Bros. If you want to see me a little bit more, it's the Banking Bros. You want to see Jesse a little bit more, it's the Cash Compound, or follow both. There's no limits. It's a free country. And our podcast comes out tomorrow. Jesse, tell us about the topic tomorrow.
So we did a book review, and for me, it was one of the bigger ones that I've ever read in finance, and it's The Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. It's his second book. You may be more familiar with his first book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, but that's the guy who also wrote The Cash Flow Quadrant. And realizing the message that he's telling from that book, it stuck with me. I read it years ago, 2016, I think, and we're releasing what I thought was a great discussion on that book and how the principles that we talk about and we teach about here intermingle for a real efficient financial plan and paradigm.
Love it. Okay, we'll see you guys on the podcast tomorrow, wherever you like those, or YouTube if you'd like to see our pretty faces again. Appreciate you being here this Thursday afternoon. Tell your friends and family. Any last words from you guys? Words, concerns, or questions? Did you learn something today? Did it open your eyes for the next phase for you? We don't want to leave you hanging. We appreciate your time. We want to bring you value every time. We have different coaches from week to week on these Thursday events, different topics to help you understand how to expand your financial system for infinite banking.
You're welcome, Victor.
All right.
Appreciate
you. Peace. Bye, guys.
See you guys.